morning, everyone. I'm Becky. Thanks for joining us for Storytime today with Iowa City Public Library. And now that the weather is getting to be a lot colder, I like to think about the animals in winter and what some different animals do to survive. So today we're going to be talking all about hibernation. And this story, written by Denise Fleming, is called Time to Sleep. And some animals in the winter need to sleep all winter long, and it's because the weather has gotten so cold and food is a lot harder to find. So these are some different animals that hibernate in the winter. Bear sniffed once, she sniffed twice. I smell winter in the air, said Bear. It's time to crawl into my cave and sleep. But first, I must tell Snail. So Snail was slowly slithering up one leaf and down another. Snail, rumbled Bear, winter is in the air. It is time to seal up your shell and sleep. Snail stopped slithering. You are right, Bear, said Snail. This morning there was frost on the grass. It is time to sleep. But first, I must tell Skunk. Scritch, scratch, scratch. Skunk was busy digging grubs. Skunk, winter is on its way, said Snail. It's time for you to curl up in your den and sleep. Skunk looked up. The leaves on the trees were yellow and red. All right, said Skunk, I will sleep, but first I must tell Turtle. Turtle was off on a ramble. Stop, Turtle, cried Skunk. I have news. Winter is on its way. Turtle blinked. Winter? Yes, winter, said Skunk. It's time for you to dig down deep and sleep. The days have been growing shorter, muttered Turtle. It is time to sleep. But first, I must tell Woodchuck. So Turtle trudged up Woodchuck's hill. Woodchuck, called Turtle, winter is on its way. It's time for you to burrow down and sleep. Thank goodness, said Woodchuck with a sigh. My skin is so tight I could not eat another bite. I'm ready to sleep. But first, I must tell Ladybug. Ladybug was perched up high on a branch in a maple tree. Ladybug, cried Woodchuck, winter is on its way. Ladybug flew over Woodchuck's head. The leaves are falling from the tree, said Woodchuck. It's time for you to slip under a log and sleep. All right, said Ladybug, but first I must tell Bear. Bear was softly snoring in her cave. Bear, cried Ladybug, wake up, wake up. Bear grumbled and rolled over. The sky is full of geese honking goodbye, cried Ladybug. Winter is on its way, Bear. Bear opened one eye, and then she opened the other. What, growled Bear? It's time for you to crawl into your cave and sleep, said Ladybug. Ladybug, grumbled Bear, I am in my cave. I was asleep. Oh dear, said Ladybug, I'm sorry, Bear. Please go back to sleep. So Bear rolled over and closed her eyes, and Ladybug slipped under a log nearby. Good night, Bug, said Bear. Good night, Bear, said Ladybug. Good night, Woodchuck. Good night, Turtle. Good night, Skunk. Good night, Snail. Good night, everyone. See you in the spring. So this book had lots of different examples of animals that sleep all through the winter. And some animals choose to sleep in different places. And so I have a few different hibernating spots, and I'm going to see if we can match which animals hibernate in these places. So here I have a nice, cozy den. And think about what animal might be cozy in a den like this one to hibernate all winter. And in this one, I have some mud beneath the lake, and there's an animal here who likes to burrow beneath the mud, cover himself completely to sleep. Now I have another hibernating spot by a pond on a log. So we'll have to think about what animal might like to go in that log near a pond. And then my last one, I have a big, deep cave buried deep beneath the ground, and that's also a good hibernating place for another animal. So let's see if we can match which animals sleep in these different places. Hibernation, time for hibernation. Hibernation, time to go to sleep. So first I have a little bear. Now where would the bear like to hibernate? Do you think it would be cozy in the mud beneath the pond? I don't think so. How about all bundled up in a nice den? Just like our story did by Denise Fleming, that bear was in a den like this one. Let's see what other animals I have. Hibernation, time for hibernation. Hibernation, time to go to sleep. Next, I have a frog. Let's think about where a frog would be happy to hibernate all winter long. Now, this frog likes to be near water, but could also kind of curl up inside a log, and that would keep it well protected all winter long. We've got two other animals. I wonder which animals like to be in those spots. Hibernation, time for hibernation. Hibernation, time to go to sleep. Next, I have a bat. Now let's think about this. Do bats go in the water, in the mud like this? I don't think so. And whenever I see bats, they're often hidden away in these caves. And so our bat would like to hibernate all winter long in a cave like this one. And our bat actually sleeps upside down, so I'm going to hang him from the top of this cave. So we have one animal left. Hibernation, time for hibernation. Hibernation, time to go to sleep. Last, I have a water snake. And this water snake likes to go to the bottom of the lake and bury himself underneath that mud. And it keeps him nice and warm and protected all winter long. So these are some other animals that like to hibernate in the winter. Now, to end story time today, I have a nonfiction story. It's a book about hibernation written by Becky, and it's called A Den is a Bed for a Bear. So we'll look a little more closely at bears and how they prepare to hibernate. Now, a den can be a nest in a cave, could be in the snow, like for this polar bear, or even under a tree. So there are different kinds of dens for different kinds of bears. Now, a den is a bed that a bear will build where no one else will be. A den is a place that a bear will go after a feast in the fall. So all fall, they eat and they eat and they eat. They get as full as they can because they won't be eating that much in the wintertime. So when they eat until their bellies are full, because soon there won't be any food at all. So, and it's amazing, it says that during the fall, bears may eat up to 20,000 calories a day. That's like eating 65 cheeseburgers in one day. That's a lot of food for a bear. A den is a place to hibernate, to sleep the winter through. It's a place a bear can be snug and warm and have her babies too. When cubs are born, they weigh less than a pound, too helpless for winter ahead, but cozy and fed in their bear of a bed. As the months go by, the cubs grow strong and bigger every day. When spring begins and mom wakes up, they're ready to go out and play. For winter is over, and it's time for all bears to leave their dark dens for the sun. In the fresh air, they can stretch their legs and eat and climb and run. But an empty den isn't empty for long. When summer is over and fall's in the air, a new mama bear might make it her lair. Because a den is a place for a bear. All right, thanks for joining me for Storytime today, all about hibernation. We'll see you next time.